this don't got nothing to do with nothing that's going on. But all I'm going to say is that my son hasn't been the same since his mom got murdered. It hasn't, and I know that. And I've been trying to be there for him and make him laugh and cheer him up and everything. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what the fuck to do. And I know my kids. He hasn't been the same with me. Like, he's just been distant from me. Like, he want to be more of a man and more of this. I don't know how to deal with this shit. And his oldest son, whole life, Roger, and his oldest son, whole life, I knew them two wasn't going to college. And my two Japanese kids, I knew they was going to college. So I saved up college tuition for the two Japanese kids and bail money for Roger and his brother. So don't fuck with him. If you go to jail, I'm just going to bail him out.
What's good, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. Tapping back in, and that's the clip, that second one that everyone's been telling me about in the comments. And thank y'all for tapping in, joining the discussion. As always, man, I always let everyone know I'm here to talk about these topics with y'all. I don't claim to know it all, you know what I mean? So thank you for engaging in the comments, helping me get a better understanding of this situation. Because off top, when this all went down, that tweet that Rampage put out about his son, the concussion, and I don't remember the exact language he used, right? But he was just kind of saying, like, basically me paraphrasing, decoding what he was saying, like, why did y'all bring my son around here? Like, you guys should have known better than this. And again, that's not exactly what he said, but that's what I took from it. I'm like, man, what is going on? What is the deal with this dude? And more I heard in the comments from individuals about him being a spoiled brat, having temper or possibly mental issues, and just being a foul individual. And it's like Rampage, you heard him about obviously it's sad he lost his mom, but in life, you know what I mean? Listen, like, there's degrees of things sometimes where you sympathize with someone about conditions or circumstances or whatever the case may be with individuals, right? But just because someone, and I'm could be disabled or going through some things or something, like, it doesn't mean you got to be a prick. It doesn't mean you got to be a no good sack of ish. And that's what it seems with this shit, man. Before, after, just everything about it, the premeditatedness, and the fact too that Raja, I forgot to mention this in other videos. People were tapping in about this as well with the comments, letting them get all gassed up. Like, this dude just has some major issues, and Rampage definitely isn't doing him any favors. Like, hey, I'll just bail him out. And I knew, because people left that in the comments. I couldn't believe, like, yo, did he really say that? This dude said it. Yo, tuition and bail money. I already know what it is. And it's like, parenting is hard. It's frustrating. Life ain't easy. We're all on this journey, but you might as well let his ass sit. And I still want to know why the fuck he is not locked up yet. It makes absolutely no sense to me how an arrest has not been made. But, like, why would you bail him out? For what reason, man? Let him sit. Let him learn some lessons. And this dude would immediately be labeled a J-Cat weirdo behind the wall if people knew what he did, the way he went about doing it. And I bet you he wouldn't want no smoke behind the wall when there's no games to be played or whatever, and you really got to man up. I bet you Raja gets marked out. We see what it is with him, man, and he's just all bad all around. He needs to face the justice system. Plain and simple. Lock him up. He's dangerous, man. Someone who's go to that lengths just because they're insecure or they want to feel like a tough guy, or they don't know really who they are. That's what it seems to me, is like, he came up like some rich spoiled kid, and he's trying to find out where he gets in, where he fits in, or whatever. It's just all bad, and just what a cornball joke he is. And it's just kind of crazy to me. Rampage, a pro athlete, dedication and discipline it takes to do that, to just be so accepting of his son being a loser, fluck up piece of ish. Like, come on, Rampage. That ain't no way. You're basically, you're putting things out like this all over the blogosphere to the whole world. You're letting them know, and you kind of just condone it or expect it. You know what I'm saying, everyone? Tap in, comment your thoughts about all that. And once again, thank you for commenting and enlightening me on more of Raja's background and, you know, what his own father said about him. But let's get into some of the update about this AJ Manna dude, the one that, in the cowboy hat, that seemingly was gassing him up. He's went on to make some other statements, and I'm guessing, everyone, let me know below if you saw the Doug interview, the what we would call hero of this situation. Even though it's so foul, such a tragedy, it's kind of wild to even hear the word hero. But keeping it real, he is. It's like Psycho Stu probably, or not probably, I'm almost absolutely certain he wouldn't be alive. So Doug is a hero. It's just so tragic, so fucked up, you know, to even break this all down. Like, we're dealing with a lot of garbage, morally bankrupt behavior from multiple human beings in this situation. As the Doug dude alluded to, the Knox Pro people being complicit in Rogers' behavior, a cover up. There's allegations going around that Rampage, he's got law enforcement in his pocket. I don't know that that's true, but it's like almost you want to believe it, because again, how did they not arrest him yet? How? But yeah, it's just so crazy, man, when you get, you know, multiple sacks of ish together who don't really care about their fellow man or society or just have any decency to them. It is the recipe for absolute disaster and tragedy.
Idiot working like that, you don't fucking, you know what I'm saying?
But he doesn't know him like that.
You don't. He's a fucking idiot. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. That's all the fuck I told Roger to do. The only thing I told Roger to do was give him a fucking receipt, because that's what the promoter wanted to do, to fucking be done. Brother Punch, watch the fucking video. Here, I'll give you a hint. You ready? And I quote, get in there and fuck that motherfucker up.
I'm gonna have you run in and fuck that motherfucker up in the mat. You know, ready for that?
Yeah. Did that come out of my mouth? No, came out of the promoter's mouth. Fuck you. But I'm supposed to kayfabe this shit to protect them? Fuck you. Y'all niggas watching me burn. Y'all told me to shut up and not say nothing, just so I can fucking get buried. Fuck y'all. No, I ain't shutting up about nothing. I'm telling the whole fucking truth. Like it or not. And if you don't like it, pull up, bitch. I ain't got nothing to lose. Pull up. Motherfucker.
The one point that I really want to overemphasize is that he knew beforehand that Raja was not a worker. He was not a worker. He knew that beforehand. But if you just look at the video, it looks like, oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't know. But from somebody that was there, that's not the truth.
In there. Don't have your girlfriend in there. Don't have your nieces and your nephews and shit in there. They did. But let me bring somebody in that's there for business, that don't really look like everybody else that was in there. But we got a problem. Yeah. That part.
All right, so this AJ dude is trying to pass the buck, and he's implicating other people and pulling up clips, or clips are being stitched together about what was said before or after, or what the promoter wanted or didn't want. First off, that don't change anything about Raja. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just do some foul shit, period. That'd be like if I did wrestling or some kind of event where I'm an outsider. You know what I mean? I don't know all the ins and outs of the business, but someone says, yo, go shank that guy, or yo, let's body this dude. And I'm like, yo, they told me to. They told me to go do the, you know what I mean? It still don't excuse what the son of a bitch did, period. And I don't know that I'm buying all these truths, right? We seen the Doug dude, the hero, talk about this AJ guy, and he didn't go into names about everybody, but seemingly that there was a plot to have Psycho Stu get a receipt, which for those that ain't like wrestling fans, a receipt is like if you're being stiff with someone or you did something, you get like chin checked or something, or hit with one live round, one live punch, not beaten within an inch of your life. But regardless, who exactly said what and how it was done, some real foul bullshit went down. They brought an outsider in, and if they didn't know that he was a fucked up individual and got some serious issues and is like a J-Cat, that's their bad. Wrestling, and the Doug dude went over it in his interview on that one podcast, right? If people are putting on a show together, you give the other person your body, pause, right? Meaning, hey, we could possibly get hurt out here. I'm trusting you to go out there and work with me and put on this show. And, sometimes people get hurt on total accident. And then sometimes there's people that take liberties. And for them to be in the business and, know the code and know what it's all about and bring someone around who's a loose cannon, that's their bad any way you cut it, whether they knew or not. But with all that being said, there's also the whole situation with the authorities where Doug was talking. And I believe the Doug dude. I just do. Let me know if you do. I do. Plain and simple. That all seemed like he was shooting straight. And, he wasn't clout chasing. He was putting it out there, the realness. He didn't do this shit for no 15 minutes of fame, I personally think. But what do you think about all this? And what do you think about this AJ dude going live now? That's damage control, right? That's just him trying to protect himself or whatever and pass the buck. But I don't know. Will we ever know exactly the way it all went down and what the true plot of it all was, or what, and how it all went down? I don't know. But I know this is some foul, twisted-ish, any way you slice it. And it's criminal. That is a criminal conspiracy at the end of the day, any way you slice it as well. But jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all these updates and what you think about Rampage as a father, as far as if it seems like he condones this shit, some of these statements that he's making. I get it, man. You can lead someone to water but can't make them drink, right? Everyone is responsible for their own actions, but I just don't like his attitude about it all. And again, that tweet that he put out said it all. Like, man, it was basically like, man, what dumbass brought my J-Cat son, who ain't right and just had a concussion around and got in his head at all, gassed him up one little bit. Why would you do that? Like, he already knows what it is about his son, and I don't know. He shouldn't bail him out, but he'll probably stick to what he said and bail him out. But this is just all sickening, man. Justice needs to hurry up. That much I do know.